Very good morning, children. So, before commencing the new lesson, I would like to inform you that in the month of August, coming month, you will have your online pre-midterm examination. But the dates will be informed you later. But you note down your portion for your pre-mid exam. Okay, and even the portion will be given to you through the PDF which I will be sending you the next Saturday along with the notes. Okay, so don't worry, but still you just note it down and you can start preparing for your pre-midterm exam. And all the further details, whatever doubts you have, definitely I will be clearing your doubts in the next video. Okay, but better you note down the lessons that you have to prepare for your pre-midterm exam. The lessons are from your first flight, that is your main book. The first two lessons including the poems, you know the names, that is a letter to God, and the poems along with it are Dust of Snow, Fire and Ice. And then lesson 2 is your Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom, and the poem along with this is A Tiger in the Zoo. So 2 prose and 3 poetry from your first flight book. Now next is from your supplementary reader book. Only first chapter will be included, that is A Triumph of Surgery. So this is the portion for your pre-midterm exam. You may start preparing, children. Exams will be conducted online only, but still you have to be thorough with all these chapters. Okay, now next let me start now the next poem. Okay, that is the Ball poem from your first flight book, that is along with your chapter 3 which I have already completed. The last part was Black Aeroplane, and if you will see in the book you will find one more poem is given over there, How to Tell Wild Animals. Okay, but this poem has been deleted for this year's syllabus. Okay, and you might have also heard, many of you might be knowing that few chapters are deleted from your syllabus this year, only for this year, and that I will be telling you accordingly when I will be preparing the further videos. But this time in the sequence the next comes How to Tell Wild Animals, but as this poem has been deleted for this year, so I will be continuing with your next poem, that is the Ball poem by John Berryman. Okay, so be with me and try to understand. And this is a very beautiful poem which shows the reality of our life. Okay, so now let me introduce little bit about this. Actually, John Berryman in his poem, he describes the grief, the pain of a boy over the loss of his ball. Many of you enjoy playing the ball. Okay, but here a child, a boy, he is in grief because he has lost his ball. And also the ball is symbolic in the poem as it is associated with the sweet memories of his childhood. Okay, here the ball is in the form of a symbol. Okay, so it is a symbolic in this poem, what? The ball, because this ball is associated, it is related with the sweet memories of that boy's childhood. Okay, so try to understand the poem and you know the process. I will be explaining you the poem, and at last I will be dealing with the rhyming scheme and also with the poetic devices being used in this poem. Okay, now let me read and make you understand. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over there it is in the water. So here I stop in these 4 lines. Let's discuss the difficult word meanings. Merrily means happily. Okay. Bouncing, you know the ball bounces, jumps. So only these 2 words I found here. Now coming to the meaning of these 4 lines. Okay. In these 4 lines we came to know that the boy has lost his ball. Okay, in the first line itself you see who has lost his ball. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? And he learns here for the first time in his life that what is like to experience the loss of our own possessions. Okay, the boy also learns that what is like to experience the loss of his possession. What was his possession? What was with him? His ball. Okay. Here the poet, he is standing near the water body there, and he sees that the ball, it bounces, the ball is rolling away from the boy down the street, and it is landing in the water. Means the ball is now away from the boy, and the ball, it bounces, it jumps happily on its way. Okay. And now finally it falls into the water. So here the poet asks the readers, we are the readers, that what the boy should do now when his ball is gone from him. Okay, so what he should do. So here this lines, it forms an integral part of the childhood memories of that boy. Okay, and just we come to know that these lines also implies that the boy's innocence is being replaced slowly by the experience of the life. Okay, when he had started losing the things from his life. Hope so understood. Coming to the next stanza. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. Okay, so till went we will try to understand. Here let's discuss the difficult word meanings. Ultimate. Ultimate means final. Ultimate goal of the life. Final goal we used to say, isn't it? Grief means sorrow or pain, you know. Rigid. Rigid means hard. Trembling means shaking. And then harbor. Harbor means port. Seaport, you might have heard. There are many seaports where the ships have the shelter for loading or unloading the things. That is the harbor. So here the poet thinks over here. Okay. For what? For consoling the boy, to make him understand by telling him that there will be other balls. Okay. Just like that one which he had lost. And he will get one ball sooner or later. But he knows that, who? The poet, that it will be only the false consolation. Okay. And it will not make the boy feel happy or more better. Okay. Because now the boy is very sad, in grief. And also he notices that the boy is now grief stricken, and his body is trembling, shaking with the pain of that loss. And he is staring down, looking continuously down into the water. Okay. And as he watches the ball going into the harbor, down into the water, he feels, what he feels? As if his childhood has also slipped away from him. Okay, his childhood are also gone. Means he is emotionally shaken now at the loss of the ball, which signifies his childhood memories. Okay, he now thinks that he has lost all his childhood memories with the loss of that ball which had rolled down into the water. Okay, and now he undergoes the process of losing the things in life, and he starts trembling, shaking. Okay, and the boy feels that his childhood innocence will never come back. Coming to the next stanza, children. I would not intrude on him. A dime, another ball is worthless. Now, he senses his first responsibility in a world of possessions. A very important line to understand now. Let's discuss the word meanings. Intrude. Intrude means to interfere, okay, or to enter forcibly somewhere. Dime means, dime is a coin here. Worthless means useless. And world of possessions here means the world of materialism, materialistic world. Now what is this materialistic world? If I say materialistic means being overly concerned with the material possessions and wealth. Means in simple way, if I want to make you understand, children, nowadays you will find everyone, all the people simply running after the money and all the things. They want everything to live a very luxurious life. Okay, means they are running after the materials. They are overly concerned about that. Okay, that is the materialistic. So world of possessions means the materialistic world. Okay, so now here what the poet wants to make us understand, the poet, okay, he is in dilemma here. He is in dilemma, and he feels that it would be wrong to go up to the boy and interfere in this matter when he was standing alone near the harbor. Okay, and even giving him the money, okay, to purchase another ball also is useless. Now it is worthless, it has no value for him, because the poet feels that the little boy is undergoing a transformation here, a change, when he is coming to the realization of the responsibility in this world. Okay, now what he realizes, the boy, he realizes his responsibilities over here. A change is taking place inside him in this world of possessions, in this materialistic world. Okay, all things are temporary and their loss is natural, that we all know. And now the boy has begun to understand that bearing the loss without much regret is also one's responsibility. Okay, so here the boy realizes that the sense of belonging and possessing the things in life is a hard reality. Okay, and he must learn it. And he also knows that he would buy the things, but the lost things would never come back to him. Okay, I hope so it's very clear to you. Coming to the next stanza. People will take balls, balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. Okay, let me stop here. Now what's the meaning of external? External means of the outside, which is of outside. Okay, so the poet here, what he wants to say now, he says that the material things like the balls are temporary, and things like money also don't stay with anyone forever? Yes or no? Money also never stays with anyone forever. And these all things keep moving from one person to other. And one particular thing in your possession today, okay, it might be in the some other's ownership the next day. Are you getting, children? Yeah, means whatever you have today, it won't be with you forever. Maybe it may be in someone's ownership the next day. So here in these lines, the ball is a symbol for all of one's possessions. And the poet is saying that we will certainly lose them one day and they cannot be easily replaced. Okay, means once the things lost can't be easily gained. Okay, and what the ball here, it is a personification of the boy's innocence. So the boy would never be able to get his lost ball, and for that matter no one will be able to get him that. And even the money cannot buy back the sweet memories of childhood that were attached with that ball. Coming to next few lines, he is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. Now the last lines. Here the difficult words I found are desperate. Desperate means hopeless, having no hope. Epistemology means nature or knowledge, you can say, okay, or also the science of knowledge or understanding, that is epistemology. So here in these lines the poet says that although there is too much sadness in the boy's eyes, okay, he was fully hopeless, but what is there? Here he is learning an important lesson that losses are the part of life. Okay, how to stand up means he is also learning a lesson that we should not bend or break at such losses. Rather, we should accept them and move on. Understood? So here that is only the children the cycle of life. Okay, sometimes we'll have profit, sometimes loss. So when we are in profit we are very happy, but when we have to bear the losses in any way, any form, we must be ready to accept them, because the cycle of life must go on. Okay, so here the boy shall soon learn what is it to suffer the losses of the possessions like other men, like other people he should know. Okay, and also this phenomena of losses and gains, it shall continue till the life remains. So every man has to stand up after the losses, and the same the boy will have to do. So here comes the end of your poem, the ball poem. Okay, so really very beautiful poem portrayed by John Berryman, and everyone must try to learn that really we too have to bear the losses in some way or the other in our life. Okay, we should not give up, we have to be courageous and brave. So what is the message over here, children? The poet wishes to convey that loss is a fact of life, and sooner man learns to tolerate it. Okay, so when we lose something for the first time, how we feel? Very sad, unhappy. But later we learn to live with our loss. Here in this poem also, the boy what he does, the boy loses his ball and he is very sad. And even the poet could buy another ball for him, but he doesn't want to do so. He wants that the boy must learn the bitter truth of the life, that everyone has to suffer the loss of something very dear. Okay, hope so it's very clear. Now children, if you will go through this poem, you will never find any of the rhyming words or rhyming scheme over here. That's why this is known as the blank verse. Okay, this poem is the blank verse where you won't find any of the rhyming scheme. Coming to the poetic devices used over here, the first one I can tell you, alliteration, that is the repetition of the initial consonant sounds in the same line. As you can see in the second line children, what repetition of the words is given over there, consonant sounds. Okay, so here we can say alliteration is being used, and likewise you can find more. Okay, also there were the words buys a ball back, there also repetition of consonant sounds is there, that is also alliteration. Okay, and this what balls can be used for repetition, another poetic device, that is repetition. Okay, so these two poetic devices are being used. And as in the beginning itself I told you that symbolism is also used. Okay, symbolism means an object, person or any situation suggests and symbolizes another meaning. Okay, and the beginning I told you the ball is the symbolic in this poem, as it is associated with what, with the sweet memories of the boy's childhood. Okay, so symbolism is also one of the figure of speech and poetic device being used over here. So hope so it's clear to you. Just go through and recall it on your own. Now let's stop here and goodbye till the next class. Have a nice day children.